Welcome to sorry about that. Welcome to a brand new webisode back in my office. I want to say thanks to everybody again who emailed and sent messages on Facebook yesterday who were concerned over when I left the air. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and I just wanted to say thanks. It was great to be able to get back in studio today, which really was the first day that I'd actually done the entire show from the station, because I did the show from home on Monday, and then I had yesterday's little deal, and then I was back in today. So it was good to be back in studio, and really enjoyed doing the show today. Really enjoyed the discussion, not only about are we feeling sorry for ourselves now after last Saturday's tragedy, but also the discussion of the parents and how much responsibility they have. You know, as I mentioned on the air this morning, I think ultimately the parents are having to deal with something that hopefully none of us ever have to deal with. And that's hard enough to handle. I think we'll know more when the trial starts. But you know, whether or not they knew their son was capable of that, what parent believes that their child is capable of such a horrendous thing? Anyways, what I wanted to talk about in short today was talk show hosts all do their shows differently, at least the ones that I've spoken to. When you go through a traumatic experience like what we just went through in town, where it dominates the news, and it's still dominating the news for the most part, you look for signs that things are tapering off. You look for signs that things are getting back to normal. And I've been keeping my eye on, wondering how much this civility movement is going to stick. This morning, I talked about Mayor Bob Walkup wants some civility accord with mayors, which, as I mentioned on the show today, makes me curious, well, how uncivilized were they? They weren't. There's no need for a civility accord. It's style, no substance. But that story was actually a day or two old. Today, I actually didn't see any stories in regards to this, and I hope that people are just beginning to calm down, and the hype's beginning to die down, and we're beginning just to get back to normal, because civility had nothing to do with what happened last Saturday, and these calls for it are just playing into the hands of those who will use it against others later on. It's actually more dangerous, in my opinion, to get sucked into this, sure, we'll be more civil conversation than it is if we just go, no, I'm going to be responsible for myself, and you can judge me accordingly if you'd like, if I'm not. Because I'm not going to give the power to somebody else saying, sure, I'll sign your civility accord, just so I can have them go, well, I don't think you're being civilized. Because, look, you signed a civility accord. It's a ridiculous notion. Politics, in my opinion, shouldn't change. It doesn't need to change. We know there are boundaries. And so far, I haven't seen the evidence where any of those boundaries have been crossed in any kind of major way. Even targets on a map, and I've mentioned this before. So, back to my original point, I get the feeling it's beginning to get back to normal. Now, I could be wrong. We'll see if stories pop up tomorrow. But it's one of those things where, you know, like I mentioned at the whole start of this thing, it's a wave, it peaks, and then it has to crash, and then it calms down. Every once in a while, you get the second and third waves, and you got to go through the process again. And we've had a couple of waves, but they've all been a little bit, each one after the next has been a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. So there you go. Comment lines open, 290-7629, 520-290-7629. Leave a comment 24 hours a day when you like, about what you like, and we'll air it out Fridays at 9:50. Speaking of Friday, John Kyle will be joining us live on the air on Friday's show. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.